size luxury. Thank you so much for watching my videos. If you're into sort of luxury lifestyle, luxury handbags, accessories, fashion, but from a plus size perspective, this channel is for you. Today I just wanted to sort of close out my Paris playlist and talk about VAT refunds, how that works, the prices of the items, how much savings I got, because I think a lot of people are interested, deals that you're able to have in Paris. So I have all my receipts here, but first let me just jump into just a brief overview of the VAT refund, how it works and all that jazz. So briefly, when you shop in Europe, if you're not a European citizen, you don't need to pay taxes there. Unlike in the United States, where you have the price and then the taxes is added after the fact, all of the items that you see on the shelf include the taxes. So you're not going to see something for $500 and then it'll be $500 plus 8% tax. It'll just be $500, right? When you go to Europe, so I guess 500 euros. So since we're not European citizens, we're able to claim that tax back and get it back either in cash or back on our card. Depends on what you choose. So the minimum amount is about 101 euros. I believe that changed recently, like last year or so. And you have to do it in a single transaction usually, unless you're at a department store that allows you to shop multiple different stores and then count it as one transaction at the end of your shopping trip at that one department store. I don't know all the stores that do it, but I know for a fact that Galeries Lafayette does this. So that's sort of the basis. Typically the VAT, which is their word for tax, is 20%. But because, someone has to take their cut off the top, we don't get the entire 20% back. We get around maybe from as little as 10% all the way up to 15%, depending on what vendor the store in question uses to do the transaction of the VAT refund, because the vendor has to take their 1 or 2% as a fee for processing the transaction. Okay, so that's how the VAT refund basically works. I've only done it in Paris so far, so I can't really tell you about other countries, but that's how it works in general. So the next thing you have to know is that when you go shopping in Paris, you need to carry around your passport, which I know is a little nerve-wracking because you don't want to lose it when you're in a foreign country, but you need it because they have to fill out a form with the original passport in their hand and they fill out all the information. Key tip: when you do your shopping, you pass them, you're like, can I do the VAT refund form? Pass them your passport. You leave the store, step outside, figure out a quiet area, look at your passport, and look at the form. Make sure that information matches either, within the few minutes after you finish the transaction, or at least before your last day. So if you need to go back to the store and have them correct it, they can correct it for you. I didn't run into that issue, but I heard a couple of stories on PurseForm where people are like, oh my gosh, this person filled out the form wrong and I wasn't able to get my VAT refund and it was a whole mess and yada yada yada. So just double check that they have your name, passport number, and I think that's the main information that they need to verify. So after you make your transaction, you pay in your store, you get your VAT refund. I will do some close-ups, but basically they come in these little things here. They have the form. I'll do a photo with my information blocked out, but it comes with the form, and then you're able to they put the form and then they put the receipt stapled to it and they put it in a little envelope for you. Now, you have to arrive to the airport. Personally, I arrived there 5 hours early. I thought that was enough time, and it was for me. So I arrived to the airport 5 hours early, and after you check your bags, but before you go to security, you're supposed to go to the Detaxe section. A lot of the videos I found here on YouTube focused on other terminals. I'm talking about CDG Terminal 2A because I left out of Air Canada. So for that terminal, I'll show you, maybe I can put up a screenshot of a map or something, but it was actually in the middle of all of the desks. So you see United, Air Canada. There was 2 Pablo machines. That's where you're supposed to scan your form, and then the custom guy. And that's where you're supposed to go. There was no one in line, so I literally walked up to the machine. I scanned each one of my forms. If I got a check mark, I was good to go. If I got an X, I had to go to the custom officer and he would stamp it for you. So one thing, there was a lot of signage and a lot of, different instructions there. One thing I was really confused about was, do I need to mail these off or do I keep them? And they said if you get a green check mark, you keep them, but if you got an X and you had to see the custom officer, then you're going to have to take a picture with your phone just for your records. You're going to have to close it up and then put it in the mailbox because then they need the physical copy. So that's what I did, but I actually didn't have to see the custom. All of my forms checked green and I was good to go, so I kept all of them. Now, how to figure out how to do your shopping and what the prices are going to be. What I did is I basically I had my little wish list. I went to each one of the websites and I was able to change the country to France, and I was able to look at, okay, this is how much the price is in France. Oh, another thing. I opted to get all of this, all the tax refund back on your card. I recommend that because you get the highest amount of tax back. If you do cash, it seems to be you get a little bit less. And if you're doing cash, there's an extra step. So after all of the green checks, you have to click that you're getting cash. I don't know what happens after that because I didn't click it, but I'm assuming you get some sort of receipt because you click the cash button, and then after security, actually where all the gates are, like you're about to board the plane, there's an area that you get your physical cash from the tax refund. So that's an option, but I opted to get it all back on my card. All back on my card, sorry. I'm losing my voice today. Hello, this is Plus Size Luxury from the future. I wanted to post this video a lot earlier, but unfortunately it took around, let's see, the shortest I got my VAT refund was 35 days and the longest took 85 days. So I went around the Thanksgiving holiday, so I think that sort of delayed the processing time. But for these next items, I will just go through the pricing with you. First up are these Hermes Oran sandals. I got them at the airport, so it came with no VAT included already. So it's duty free, as they say. So it was around $477. I would have paid $712 in the States, and this is the price including the tax I would have had to pay here. So I saved about 33%, which is a really great deal. Just note that the conversion really depends on the day and time that you're checking it. I checked this in February, late February. I also want to note that these are the prices as of when I bought them back in November 2022. I don't know if there's been price increases since then, but they were $660 originally US and $459 at the airport in Paris back in 2022. Next up is the Louis Vuitton Palm Springs Mini. I purchased it for $18.50 in Europe. I got $220 VAT back, and then compared to what I would have spent in the United States, which is $26.41 with the Georgia tax, I saved 35%. Next item is the Fendi Baguette phone pouch. I purchased this item for $9.80 in Paris. I got $126 VAT in return. Compared to what I would have paid in the United States, which would be $13.96, I saved 35%. This item is the Celine large jewelry case. I paid $8.50 in Paris. I got $108 VAT in return. Compared to the $12.45 I would have paid in Georgia, I saved 37%. The smallest size of the Maison Francis Kurkdjian Paris fragrance, 724. I paid 110 euros in Paris. I got $13.15 VAT in return. Compared to if I had ordered it in Georgia, I would have had to pay $183. So I saved 45%. Finally, this is my Carolina Herrera, the Bimba 9 or small Bimba. I paid 855 euros. I got 104 VAT in return. compared to the $12.77 I would have paid in Georgia. I saved 37%. I did want to note that all the other companies used, I think it was like Planet Blue or Planet Tax, and Carolina Herrera used Innovatax or Free Tax. Okay, so that's all I had as far as the tax refund. Everything went really smoothly. I was really anxious about it because I was just like, am I going to be able to know where to go? And like, what if I actually like go past security and I forget to scan my things? Like, you worry about the craziest stuff. Just get there early, take your time. If you can't figure it out, just walk up and down where you're checking your bags and you should be able to see it. But I found it, I think it was near desk like 8 or 9. That's the area on Terminal 2A at CDG. So that's where I found it. And if you come early enough, if you have an early morning flight, I had no line. My friend who left on a Monday morning around 7 o'clock, she got there. She said that there was like maybe 10 people in front of her. So just depends on when you go. All right, let me know if you have any questions. I know that was a lot of information. Just really excited about the savings I was able to get over there, and I just wanted to share the information that I have with you guys. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time. Bye.